Welcome to Behind the Welcome Sign. We will be picking up where I have already left off. Forgive me if my stories are not exactly in the same order as they happened. It's impossible to remember back 7 to 8 years, the exact time frame things have happened. My one friend has now resigned from her position. She and her husband are broken, not just from the deep grief of family loss, but from the betrayal they experienced at the hands of what was supposed to be their fire department family. I started out as just a social member, but over time I craved more. I wanted to go active. That was my idea. I talked my husband into it, and soon he fell in love with it too. His passion grew even stronger than mine. We went through the fire academy together. It was right around the time the first whispers of COVID were starting to surface. No one was being tested, no one really knew what it was yet. And then I got sick, really sick. It knocked me out of the academy, and it was devastating. I had wanted that certification so badly. But I didn't let that stop me. I threw myself into every other training opportunity I could find. I collected certificate after certificate with every intention of returning to finish. In the meantime, I was appointed as the safety officer. I dove in head first. I studied, trained, and learned everything I could. I took course after course, determined to do the job right. I was proud, excited, until I realized that in this department, titles were more about appearances than responsibility. The helmet was just a different color. But don't you dare actually try to do what the role requires. I learned that lesson the hard way. Not to mention, time taught me I should never have been given this title without practical experience. Yes, I was great at the education part, but should I be in a position without practical hands on experience? Eventually, elections came, and I was elected president of the department. Not even a month in, I started reading through policies, laws, and regulations, and what I found was disturbing. The first thing I did was reach out to our district state representative. I wanted to know what resources are available. How can we clean this up? He promised help. He said he knew the right person. He said they'd contact me. But before that help arrived, we were hit with an audit. I cried, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I was handed a list of everything we needed to submit for the audit, only to discover almost none of it had ever been done. For years, the chief also served as the president. They wore the titles proudly, but the work behind the titles completely neglected. We had cumulative rosters filled with names, people added just because they were related to someone. Equipment rosters that hadn't been updated in years, no dual signatures on checks, missing equipment, and incomplete records everywhere. It was chaos. But then a small light. I was given tools and guidance on how to recreate the missing documentation. We started calling vendors to get copies of invoices, piecing together financial records so we could rebuild the equipment list. I reconstructed 3 years of documentation, 3 years that happened before I was even a member. I was doing work that others should have done long before I showed up. Thankfully, the friend who had first encouraged me to join stood by my side through all of it. Together during the COVID shutdown, we worked day after day to save the department from a failed audit. The only thing we couldn't fix, the lack of dual signature checks. We weren't authorized signers at the time, and if we tried to be, it would have been forgery. So we took that hit willingly. We spent weeks at that fire department, hour on hours, sorting through piles of old paperwork, trying to make sense of it all. I spent more time there than I did at home with my own family. But a pattern kept emerging. People wanted titles, not the work that came with them. And that unfortunately became something I'd have to deal with again and again and again. It hardened me. It changed how I saw people's worth ethic and their intentions. Because the deeper I went, the more I realized this was never about serving the community. It was about power, image, and control, no matter the cost. I swore I would be different, and I stayed in the background at all events. You'd never hear me share that I was the president, but I was back there doing the work.